And Prophet ﷺ, and throughout Holy Qur'an many surahs in reference to stars, the buruj, the galaxies. And At-Tariq is a star that they call a piercing star, and there is also a piercing star within our entire created universe, where entire universe has a star billions and billions the size of the star that we have now as the sun. And Prophet ﷺ's teaching that, follow any of my companions, they are like stars on a dark night. Means everywhere we look they're guiding us to the reality of a najm, of a star. And to be a star that take the reality which God has given and reach its eternal reality. And they come to teach us about ourselves, that we have two important triangles upon ourselves, one related to the soul and one related to the physicality. That you have for your soul from your two chests, from 1, 2, 3. And these are the upper Lataifs or chakras that are important for the power that coming upon the soul. And you have from 4, 5, 6 to the belly button that are responsible for the energies that are coming to the physicality. Our life is based on that understanding, that how are you going to govern your reality, how are you going to energize your soul and bring the power of the soul, how are you going to discipline the physicality. If the system is not in check and the physicality is not disciplined, these two will never come to be locked. So the whole material world is now operating on the lower pyramid, means the plane of the physicality. They're operating at the level of the physicality. And what is important in that is that comes ignorance, anger under the heart, and then a fire within the desires. Now the heart would be… Shaykh, where's a pen? Because this is going to be the opposite of… The heart is on this side. Your heart is on the left side, but because I'm sitting this way then you're sitting that way. So it means this upper triangle of my soul, on how to open up the reality of my soul, how to discipline the physicality. So from my right, left and up to the forehead, and then from the right, left and down to the navel. And when operating from the physicality, everything is based on ignorance, anger into the heart and fire into the belly. So as much as they give to the physical, they're going to increase the level of ignorance. By that ignorance they increase, by its nature ignorance will increase anger. Because ignorant people are very angry people. Why? Because they're in dark. So if I turn the lights off, it's a symbolic gesture of ignorance. As soon as you turn the lights off you start to hit everything. As a result of hitting everything you become angry because you don't know. So what Prophet ﷺ wanted for the seeker is seek out knowledges and realities. So then the life of the material world is based on ignorance. That ignorance breeds anger. That is where it's coming into the heart. If you're operating from ignorance and anger, you've developed now a fire within the belly. That fire is the root of all sickness. That fire increases all the lower desires, all the bad desires, all the bad appetites, because the body is on fire. What they want from us is to open the reality of the soul, that you have Islam, Iman wal Maqamul Ihsan. Means that the higher level of the soul is that the Islam, Iman wal Maqamul Ihsan. That Islam is a word for submission, that I have to live my life, because you have to take the Arabic to understand in whatever language you're studying the reality. It's not about only the Arabic language, but it's the understanding. What Allah wants is not that you follow only the Arabic language, but you follow the understanding, and could be any of Allah's creation. That submit your life, Thy kingdom come, Thy will be done on earth as is in heaven. That is a dua for the heart, and this is the symbol of the heart. This is the reality of creation and the opening of creation. And that the heart has to be a star, because this is the Lataif of the qalb. This is just the opening of the Lataif of the qalb. The Lataif of the qalb is based on a star, based on the sun. Means that you have to seek a path in which you are trying to open the realities of a star. That, Ya Rabbi, I want my soul to be eternal, I want to reach its eternity and its realities. Then Allah say, if you want my heavenly kingdom, then upon your kingdom and your physicality submit. So our life is about submitting. Only that submission will bring down this ignorance. So these two are overlocking. So it means that what's going to conquer ignorance in the world is your Islam, your submission. Take a path in which you submit your will to the will of the Divine. So it means your religious and spiritual practices is your submission. When you increase your spiritual practices, it takes away the ignorance. And that's what shaitan wants, is don't do anything spiritual. Don't do anything that would require you to submit, so that why we can operate from ignorance. So it means that once we begin to open that reality, means you're opening that reality of submission, it begins to conquer the ignorance and have dominion over that ignorance and begin to wash away that ignorance. If from Islam and the process of submission will open the reality of Maqamul Iman, because Iman now enters into the heart, faith enters into the heart. If you are submitting and putting down ignorance, naturally you are building faith. By building faith, you take away the fire of ignorance, the anger that coming into the heart, take a person from disbelief, take a person away from belief towards the oceans of disbelief. So I mean, then we see how ignorance and anger and fire, it's like a formula of disaster. As soon as you begin to submit your will and seek a spiritual path and seek spiritual understandings, these light begin to diminish that ignorance. The light of faith, because the practices should become stronger and stronger, the light of faith will take away the anger within the heart. And that's why Prophet teaching that ghadab is kufr, that anybody operating from anger is continuously entering into disbelief. So that the danger of anger is so significant that you can do anything in a moment of rage, and it would be nothing based on belief, you can harm people. So it means your life can't be based on in my heart having anger. There's no way anybody angry is devoid of faith. And that's why the process of spirituality, the process of who knows himself will know his Lord, these are all the hadiths of Prophet. As soon as we want to get to know ourselves, what do I want to be? I want to be in the footsteps of the companions and the Nabiyeen, Siddiqeen, Shuhada, and they're all with Allah, and all of them are stars on a dark night. They reached the reality of a star in which they conquered their ignorance, and they set for an example for us. Then all their life was about conquering their anger. Ya Rabbi, how can I have anger in my heart? I have to seek a path in which I'm continuously entering into my heart and understand that you're going to be testing me at every moment, and have to be able to hold that and not let the anger to come. Be able to understand the tools that were given to me to wash, to meditate, to contemplate, and to ask God to relieve me of this anger. Don't let that anger to enter into my heart, so that the beatific lights of faith enter into the heart. Because faith, قَدْ جَعَلَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ, means the truth and falsehood, they never come together. So then God is telling, my kingdom is coming. You want my will? Then conquer your own will, but my light never sits with falsehood. I mean the angel and the demon, they don't sit into the heart, they don't sit together and just spare these, okay you can talk now and then I'll talk later, you talk now. No. It's either you're going to operate the heart through demonic, through fire, through rage and anger, or you're going to take a path in which to bring that anger down, continuously take the anger away. And these are all the tools that Prophet gave to us. The greatest tool is water. Water, it fights shayateen. Zikrullah and the remembrance, the chanting, the praising upon the prophetic reality, all of that brings a light within the heart that burns the shayateen and the lights and the fires. Means the heavenly light burns away the rage and the fire. So by doing the zikr, by doing the praisings, by understanding the power of water and washing when we become angry and taking away all these bad characteristics, then we begin to realize 70% of my inside is water. How then to purify now my inside? If I understood the power of physical water, where I can use the water to take away anger, take away all sorts of difficulties, then they begin to teach again from Prophet that your inner water also has to be purified. What are you eating? Is it clean? Is it pure? Is it in God's name? What are you drinking? Is it clean and is it pure? Don't drink spirits because they're telling you they're spirits. Means don't drink things that are going to bring the satanic influence and the demonic influence within the body. They're going to come and operate, and Prophet was teaching that shaitan moves through the blood. So it means he wants to enter into the system and operate. What you feed him is going to be depending upon his strength. That's why don't eat with your left hand. The left hand is for cleaning the body when you've gone to the bathroom. So Prophet taught that if you eat with your right hand, it cuts the provision of shaitan. Anybody eat with their left hand as if he's feeding his shaitan. And one went to a kashf and a witness that he saw a person and his shaitan was very fat. And he saw another person and his shaitan was very like starving. So what happened? Why this shaitan is fat and this shaitan is very skinny? And they were describing this one eats with his left hand and every provision Allah gives to him is taken by that shaitan. And this one whom eats with his right hand, his provision goes for him and he's starving that shaitan. Means all of what Prophet brought was for energy, the realization of energy, how to perfect the energy, how to wash, how to eat what is holy and what is been sacrificed in God's name, that it be sanctified and purified. What I drink into this body, this is my masjid, this is my temple, this is my place of worshipness. What I do with it when Allah say, wash it, purify it, circumambulate, is talking about the masjid is the heart. Not only the masjid we build for outside for worshipness, but the greatest masjid of Allah, the greatest temple or church of Allah is the heart of the believer. Means that everything we eat and drink, how to purify that blood, that builds the light of faith. When that begins to conquer that anger, the fire of anger is going down, the fires of ignorance are going down, and this fire of rage is now from the light of Maqamul Ihsan is now diminishing that anger, that fire. Only at that time that the light of perfection begins to open, what they call their third eye, but this is Maqamul Ihsan. Means from there Islam and submission, Islam, Iman wa Maqamul Ihsan. As soon as they entered into submission, they took the practices of submitting and everything about them is to submit. We were talking the other day that even in our prayer, when you put your head to the ground, you're telling your Lord that this body of mine is a mere donkey and you are supreme. And as soon as the donkey puts his head to the ground, the soul is actually the rider. It's showing God that my donkey is under my control, my Lord, and what you gave from your lights is my soul. My soul is supreme, my donkey is under control. The reverse is the material world where everyone is carrying their donkey and the soul is oppressed. And that's what angers God, is that soul comes from my paradise. That body of yours, ashes to ashes and dust to dust, that body is going back. Why are you giving the supremacy to the body and not to that which is eternal? So it means even in the prayer, most in the prayer is a gesture in which my head and the crown of my creation and all that you want to bestow upon me, my Lord, I submit it into your presence, and it's but nothing, and it subjugate itself entirely to the Divine Presence. And with that majesty Allah is happy and pleased. As much as I bestow onto you, you be nothing in my presence. Because this is the binary code, God is on and I'm off. If I want to be on, then God is distant. Saying that, okay, if you want to be the whole show, then that's you. But take a path in which you're nothing, that this binary code, its reality can begin to dress the servant, and that becomes Maqamul Ihsan. When their Islam, Iman and Maqamul Ihsan is now shining. The light of Maqamul Ihsan means that the light that operating through their heart is now beginning to dress upon their face. We said this is the maqam of the qalb, this is the lataif of the qalb, because the heart becomes a sun. If the heart becomes a sun, your face becomes the moon and becomes a full moon in which is dressed by the light of your heart. Means if a person has light upon their face, because they have light upon their heart. The heart is reflecting to the face, where now everybody want to put makeup onto their face to beautify their face, but that's not what's important. What's important is to beautify the heart. When the heart is beatific, Divinely lights will reflect upon the face. And that's Allah teaching that if you're going to take a path of a star, you have a galaxy, you have 11 essential organs, all of them must be lit up by the power of your sun. Do you see how I run my galaxy and my universes? Because Allah says, I show you the sign upon the horizon and within ourselves. So I say, Ya Rabbi, I want to reach towards your kingdom and the control of your kingdom to be given. He says, but how can I give you control of my kingdom when you have no control over your own? And that's why who knows himself knows his Lord. Ya Rabbi, I'm going to light my sun. If I don't have a sun, all is destroyed, is worthless. All your planets have nothing, have no sun. And Prophet described, if there's one part of you good, all of you good. If that one part of you bad, all of you bad, and that's the heart of the person. If the heart is good, everything is shining. If heart is bad, what the benefit for anything else the person is doing? Is zulumat and oppression. So it means the way of marifah is how to open that reality. That's in Islam, Iman wal Maqamul Ihsan, to conquer all the lower characteristics. That reality of the soul, for now those who understand Islam, is La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasul Allah. Means that in the realities of the soul and the first zikrs of tariqah is La. So Lam Alif, and the secret of that door and that bab is the Zulfiqar. That's why the first zikr of all tariqahs, because they are inheriting from what Allah and Prophet described, that I am the city of knowledge, and Imam Ali salam is its bab, is the gatekeeper of that reality. So means that gatekeeper stands guard with a lam jalala, because the Zulfiqar is the lam jalala, it's a sword that comes up with two spikes, and that sword is significant for the head can't enter into this reality. Means the reality of the La is that the first zikr is La, ilaha to the right, illallah into the heart. Means the power of the soul, and later awliyaullah they can do many things based on that zikr. Because everything is based on La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. This is where Nabi Musa said, Ya Rabbi, I want to go where the two rivers meet. Means I want Basirat al-Lam Jalala. This is the highest of your secrets, the highest of your realities. whose gatekeeper is Imam Ali salam. When Prophet says, I am the city and he is the gatekeeper, the door of that reality. So it means that that la is on the forehead. La in Arabic means no. So it means that you want the reality, it's not going to be by your head. It means you're not going to sit and read a book and analyze, oh my God, where is it, like it's here, it's like that, okay I can find the door like this and I'll get through the door. No. This head is what we played on Matrix Adam when they said, is this not real? This not real? And then he said, what is real? A series of electronic pulses that is sent to your brain that just by based on your touch and feel is your understanding of real from this piece of flesh locked within a skull. None of that is real. What's real exists within the heart and what the soul sees of what's real, not but this is an illusion. So it means that la ilaha illallah is telling us that you bring the energy of your breath in and it comes up in, because the 7th point is here. We didn't get to that part. Where was the marker that I had? I guess we didn't complete that in case people would complain. Where are we? Bring your breath and your energy in and comes to the head. La means all the energy come to your head that negate your head, negate your thinking. This path is not going to be based on what your head is understanding. Ilaha, divinity, nothing, negate nothing, and then divinity, ilaha, and to the right corner, illallah, nothing but Allah into the heart. Illallah. So it means the first zikr continuously, even by holding the breath. They hold the breath, la ilaha illallah, and don't take your breath out, and they practice that throughout the day continuously. Then Mawlana Abdul Khaliq al-Hujdawani preferred to do that zikr underwater so that satanic influence of the jinn wouldn't affect his tafakkur and his contemplation. Means they begin to practice la ilaha illallah, ilaha illallah, and begin to feel the movement of that energy, and that light is coming to la and negate my head, and that is the Zulfiqar, ilaha illallah, and feel the movement of that light within the heart. Then to understand that that is the power of the soul, and that Allah sent Muhammadan Rasulullah as the lawgiver to discipline all the physicalities. So then on the zikr of Prophet is Muhammadun Rasulullah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, and that reality brings all that fire down, that opens the reality. That Prophet that how when this najm connects, that Muhammadun lock the physicality, Prophet brings the discipline and the light, the majestic lights to discipline the physicality and take it away from its ignorance, from its anger and from its fire. If Muhammadun Rasulullah ignite the physicality, discipline the physicality, Allah releases the reality of la ilaha illallah. That's why the kalima is la ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. So it means in its perfection it's la ilaha illallah, and then the light of Prophet Muhammad Rasulullah. And tremendous realities that in Allah in this reality of Zulfiqar, the gate in the dunya is known to you as Allah. That Allah Ismu Jalala is the supreme name that encompasses the attributes of Allah, means it brings the majesty and discipline upon the physicality. But Allah is a hidden treasure wanting to be known by Maqamul Ihsan. That you want to know me? Come to la ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah, come to the Lam Alif, come to the Zulfiqar, come to where Nabi Musa wanted of those realities, come to that Zulfiqar of la ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah. We pray that Allah open more and more understanding for us, of its reality, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is right at the center, is the throne of Arshul Rahman. The throne of the Divinely Presence is the 7 and the secret of the 7 that Allah described. I created creation in 6 and rested upon the 7th. Means that all of creation is but one nuqt, like a star, and infinite amount of stars are coming into existence, infinite amounts of nuqts are coming. That reality is the reality of the beginning. Means that understanding that these are the 6 powers of the heart held by the 7th is the crown of creation. Means that when Allah opened that reality for the servant, that when they open these 6 points, these are the 6 powers of the heart, where Allah give awliyaullah the power over their heart, the power of juzbah, their power of faiz, their power of tawassul, the power of their nazar, the power of ta'i, the power of irshad and guidance, that they are of the 7, because Allah dressed them from the reality of 7, in which their 7 faculties are dressed by 7 Divinely essences of Allah. Where John saw in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, I saw 7 Divinely essences dressed upon the King. Means in every book they understood that wajah and the Divinely face, you're talking about when this star opens and the power of that star opens, they become from those who carry the 7. And what 7 is that they open the 2 attributes of the ears, they open the 2 attributes of the eyes, they open the 2 attributes of the breath, and Allah gave them power upon their tongue. And Allah says, everything perishes but their holy face. And this is the face in which Allah dressed upon Prophet dressed back upon awliyaullah. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifoon, wassalamun al mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, wa hurmati Muhammadin Mustafa wa basira Surat al-Fatiha. You show this one? Okay.
سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي سيدنا النبي